Hey guys, how's it going? Murder of Birds here, welcome back to the channel, and for this video I'm going to be getting back into another unboxing series pertaining to RWBY of the McFarlane figures for Team Crime. That is right, we're going to be getting into Emerald, Cinder, Mercury, and Torchwick, all compiled in this one video, and I actually have them all over here right now. I actually got these as a Christmas gift by an individual on the channel known as Jamie Coleman, so thank you so much Jamie for helping me out with getting these, and a lot of people have also been asking me over the months leading up to these releases if I was going to be getting them, if I was going to be reviewing them, because for those of you who don't know, I have the Team RWBY and the Team Juniper figures in the back there that I have been buying ever since they started coming out. I've been doing unboxings and my own versions of like reviews slash impressions of each one of them. But the thing about these figures was that these four all came out at once, whereas the other ones all came out over time between one another. So instead of bombarding you guys with four somewhat similar videos, I decided to just compile all of Team Crime in this one video, unbox all of them together, and then put them all together and assemble them as such. Instead of just a Cinder video, an Emerald video, a Mercury video, a Torchwick video, I'll just do a general Team Crime figure unboxing video. And for any of you guys who want to check it out, you guys can get my overall thoughts and impressions. You guys can see the unboxing process and overall quality if it's something that you guys are interested in checking out and picking up for yourselves. But I hope you guys enjoy. Leave me your thoughts in the comments. Let me know if any of you guys have these figures, what your personal opinion of them are, and we shall begin. Alright guys, we're going to be starting off with Cinderfall here. We have the front animation look of her box design with her name on the front. The side has a bit of other animations from her design of RWBY Volume 1 through 3. Obviously, we know she has a completely different attire and setup in Volume 4. And then on the back here, we have all three characters in the Series 3 McFarlane toy set, which we also have displayed here. Emerald, Cinder, Mercury, and Torchwick. The display and presentation is going to be a lot different than what it's usually based on, but I'm basically just going to unbox, show it off real quick, and give you guys a final presentation, and then that'll be the video. So let us open her up here. So she is the new Fall Maiden. Obviously, we understand the events that transpired. Oh, it's been a while since I've opened these, so I know that I have to do the side ones too. So we know, like, obviously the events that transpired during the fall of Beacon. Amber had died. Pyrrha was the next in line based on, like, Ozpin and, you know, everybody else that was kind of banking on her becoming the new Fall Maiden, and she ended up dying by Cinder. So, here, oh wow, so it comes right out the box. So the box doesn't have any type of theme like Team RWBY, so I think Team RWBY is the only characters who are going to get that special treatment when it comes to having themed boxes. So here's a better look of the figure, her stand, and the weapon in the background. She has her bow and arrow. She's got some fire abilities going on there, which is presumably you know, elements of the Fall Maiden's powers. Then the stand in the background, which is very similar to the stands of Team Juniper, so they all end up getting assembled that way as well. So I'm gonna jump cut here because twist ties are the bane of my existence. So that actually went a lot easier than I thought. Obviously I'm gonna preserve the box for my RWBY tower, which I have no idea how that's gonna end up turning out once all of these are open. But we got Cinder here, and I'll say in terms of overall detail, they did a really great job, like capturing like the look of her face, the fact that her hair falls to one side. Like I said, here we have like a little fire thing, which isn't the best in terms of detail, but I can understand what they were going for. The details of the lacings on the side of her dress, the back, obviously the tattoo, which we still don't know what the hell that is. She ended up getting it after she got the partial Fall Maiden's powers. Obviously her glass slippers, the little bracelet on the one side of it. So they did a lot of good work when it comes to capturing the detail of Cinder's entire ensemble and just overall feel. And we also have her weapon here, which is the combination of her two dagger-like blades, which combine to form a bow, which I thought was super cool. I really hope that Miles, Carey, and Gray go back to like inspirations of naming the weapons, because Team RWBY and Team Juniper, all of their weapons have names like Crescent Rose, Stormflower, Crescia Moors, things like that. So I really hope that they go back to that, but I'm gonna assemble this, so give me one additional second. And ultimately, that was a very quick display. I'll say this one is the most simplest of the bunch to put together. Her being put on the stand, her front legs go towards the center of the pedestal, and then right here you guys can see how the back of the bow is assembled to the hands. Very, very simple overall compared to the rest of the figures. Very easy to put together and whatnot. So another great way that I'm putting all of these together in one video, just because something like this was super simplistic. Next up, we got Mr. Suave himself, Roman Torchwick over here, voiced by Gray Haddock, head of animation at Rooster Teeth. One of my all-time favorite villains. I'm really, really upset and bummed out that he actually ended up dying. But, you know, what are you gonna do? He was just really loved and liked by everyone to the point where they kept kept him around a lot longer than they should have, and when it was time to pull the plug, it was very unexpected, especially how he went out, given the fact that he was just freed from his prison by Neo, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I love him as a character. He's super suave, super charismatic and gentlemanlike, but also, like, he's a rat, so he's someone that's not to be trusted. I'm just getting a better look at his display before I get him out. Actually, Roman's weapon is the only weapon in Team Crime who actually has a name. His weapon's name is Melodic Codgel, and look at him, dude. He's just, like, tip of the hat, like, just a really suave posture. I love it. So, judging on Torchwick as well, I think McFarlane decided to take the safe route of kind of putting Team Crime in general in more of a static state. Like, you can't move anything on Torchwick or anything, but I will say the detail is very, very well done. Like, right here, you can see, like, the individual streaks of hair on the top. His face is, like, really well done. I'm not sure if you guys can really pick that up based on my lighting, but I do apologize for that. His shoes, like, the cleft of his pants and stuff like that, all of that looks just really well done. He has his individual platform here, all rock-based and stuff like that. All of them end up coming together like Team Juniper. And then we have Melodic Codgel here, which is his cane, which also doubles as a gun. I really wish they had, like, the reticle that pops up from, like, the first episode, which is pretty great. So I'm gonna assemble this really quick. So for any of you guys who are wondering, because I just spent, like, the last 2 minutes trying to get the cane in Torchwick's hand somehow, that's actually not how it goes. What you're supposed to do is there's a hole right here that you're supposed to put the cane inside of, and then on the very side of that, you're supposed to put Torchwick on the foot placement that he actually has his hand placed over the cane. And if you do it just right, this is what you turn out with. Roman Torchwick, suave, gentlemanlike, real crowd pleaser. I'm really, really upset that he's dead. I don't know what this is gonna mean for, you know, for someone like Neo, who was very, you know, close to Roman in some respect. Really love the figure, love having it. I like I said, I like the detail, but I just feel like it's not dynamic. It's very static in nature just because it's just there. Like, you can't move the arms or anything, or even, like, change up the weapons a bit, kind of like the other figures. But either way, I really do enjoy Roman. Coming in at number 3, we have Emerald Sustrai here, the Master Thief, the Street Rat, the Illusionist, kind of the most overpowered person in the world of Remnant thus far for characters that we know, based solely on her illusion semblance to kind of mess with people's perception. And I think, like, that's literally game breaking. You know, I don't know what Ozpin has in store in terms of, like, his mystique and just how old and ancient he is as an individual, as a huntsman, as a wizard, or whatever, but Emerald could literally, like, dominate anyone if she had the will and the authority to do so. Like, I feel like just because she's on Cinder's team, like, Cinder dodges a bullet, because if Emerald had the same wherewithal and the same fortitude as Cinder, things would be, like, crazy for everybody. So just showing you guys the real quick display here. Her weapons are pretty cool too. They kind of remind me of, like, the chain blades from God of War, like the Blades of Chaos, because they are guns, but then they have, like, hooks at the very end, which I believe are Egyptian inspired, and then they also have chains, so that way they can actually be med to long range as melee weapons, which are pretty cool. We got some leg action going in there, so she kind of looks a little bit more dynamic than the very still and stiff Torchwick and Cinder. So let me just say, these weapons are fucking badass. Like, these weapons are so dope, and I really hope that we get to see Emerald kind of break out and do a lot more with herself. I don't know if she's end up going to stay with Cinder, if she's going to leave Cinder, if she has redemption or any type of remorse for the things that she's done. So Emerald is actually a little bit more dynamic than her other teammates here, so she's got some kicking action going on, but you could actually twist all of her limbs, like her arms and her legs, which is a lot more, and you can twist them all 360 degrees, which is a lot better than Cinder and Roman can say here. But I do like her design too, obviously. Like the detail of the character is really great. Like, again, you have the symbol on her back. That is her own individual emblem. You have, like, her holsters for her weapons in the back as well, the leggings that she uses. And it's just overall, like, a good quality. It's not, like, crazy over the top, but for McFarlane Toys, they really do a great job with trying to capture the essence of the character in their figures. And then the weapons too. The weapons are really freaking cool. Like, there's a lot of inner detail, but I'm pretty sure you can't really see that well based on my lighting. Again, I am sorry. But these weapons are super cool. I really hope we see, like, the chain style, or we can see more of the combative side of Emerald as time goes on. And now we put them together, and this is going to be annoying because we have, like, these tiny little gun holster holes that I'm pretty sure her fingers go into. So that's going to be annoying. So people, we have reached an impasse. I cannot get the guns on her fingers. And as a result, this ended up happening. The gun is too thin. It is too thin to where the handle of it actually snapped off. And what's even more frustrating is that Emerald's hands don't open. Like, her thumb is, like, merged onto the rest of her fist, with just her trigger finger being open. So there's no possible way to get this gun on her hand. And I'm really, like, pissed off. I'm, like, genuinely pissed. Number one, because this was a gift, and I'm really fucking mad that this happened. And two, the adjustments are just terrible for this figure. And this is, like, the only one out of any of the figures that I've ever had issues with. Some of them were close. Like, Ren and Nora's were kind of close, but not to the point where I actually broke something off. I'm really pissed off about that, to be honest. And, yeah, like, that's her biggest fault. Her trigger fingers are open, but there's no way for you to get the gun into the rest of her hand, and there's just no way for you to have the trigger finger resting where it needs to go. And I will just say, if you get this figure, do not, under any circumstances, try to strain yourself putting this together. And if you do, assemble it at your own risk. But I managed to put the rest of her together here. Of course, I'm not going to be able to get the figures on the way that I want to. I'm really, like, genuinely upset about this. Mainly because, like, I didn't get this. This was given to me by a friend. And, you know, it's upsetting. But I'll have the other one here at the base for whatever it's worth. Just be wary of that for any of you guys who end up getting the figure. I do like the stance that she has put in, though, but at the same time, the fact that something like that happened just kind of blows the rest of the figure over for me personally. And we're going to get into the last character, my favorite, Mercury Black. Alright guys, and picking up the rear for the last of Team Crime, we have Mercury Black here, aka Sasuke Uchiha, voiced by Yuri Lowenthal. We have his animation art right here. And I was actually pretty bummed out that Mercury wasn't in Volume 4 the way I would have liked him to be. Like, he was in Volume 4, but he had no lines, you know what I mean? I don't know if that was based on the fact that Rooster Teeth didn't hire him for lines for this season, or what it was. Like, even Emerald got like 1 or 2 lines during the entire volume, and I was honestly expecting a lot more out of him just based on the fact of how many waves he made in Volume 3, like the reveal of his robotic legs, his one-on-one fight with Yang and everything else, and he just turned out to be like a pretty awesome character. The fight with Koko Yatsuhashi was pretty hype between Emerald and Mercury, and I would have just loved to see that. Look at this dude. He actually has like some pretty cool effects to go with his whole design, which I really appreciate. And as we know from the initial reveal in Volume 2, his guns are actually located in his boots or his greaves, and we don't really get to see them that often because his pants overlay his boots, and obviously his pants also cover his metal legs. You can actually see a little bit more of the gun mechanism, which I'll show you guys a little bit after I take it out of this little display here. So overall, I would say Team Crime is a very static group. Like, I can't move Mercury's legs, but they do a great job, like, with detailing the pants and stuff like that. You can actually see the gun mechanism on his boots a lot better because his pants aren't overshadowing them, and you can actually see the mechanism at the very end here at the heel of his boot, which is where the bullets end up coming out. His undershirt here shows off a bit of his symbol, which is the Mercury boots, which is inspired by the Roman god, which is what he's inspired by, you know, being Mr. Happy Feet and everything. And I think the fact that they put this fire effect in here is based on the fact that he doesn't have a weapon to assemble because his boots are his weapons, so I think that was kind of cool as well. And boom, there you go. Mercury Black in the flesh. I actually think the effect makes his character and makes the figure overall look a lot more appealing. He definitely has a lot more dynamic flair to him than everybody else who's just very stagnant and just very still and stiff and in place. Obviously, the fact that he's balancing on one leg is another cool concept, and then the fact that it's just on a pillar looks pretty cool as well. So, that is the final ensemble. That's the final assemblement of the last figure, and we're going to put them in correct order now. So, let me see where these are all going to go. And boom, here you have it, the full ensemble of Team Crime. I'll be switching over the camera a bit so you guys can see it from a better angle. But ultimately, for the quality of these figures, I am very much happy. The only issue that I'm really still having a gripe with now is based on the fact that A, Emerald weapons can't be assembled, and B, the fact that I broke one of them, which is very unfortunate. Be very careful if any of you guys did end up getting the Emerald Sus-Dry figure, just because you will typically run into that, and if you kind of force it, you will end up breaking it. But ultimately, I like the setup. I like how it's actually forged with all 4 of them on like a beacon, fallen over pedestal kind of thing going on here. Similar to Team Ranger, but a little bit more gritty and darker because, you know, there's rubble and everything around them. But leave me your thoughts, what you guys felt about these figures. Leave me your thoughts about the video overall. I know the presentation and the display was a lot much more different than what it usually is for these figures, but I just figured I'd make it a lot easier with putting all of these figures into one video versus making 4 individual videos, which these characters and figures are pretty simplistic at the end of the day. So I hope you guys enjoyed it overall. And so now we have the entirety of Team RWBY, we have the entirety of Team Juniper, And I am sorry, Naruto and Sasuke, but your 4th Great Ninja War can go elsewhere because someone else is moving into town. At this point, I'm wondering now what we'll get next, either Team Sun or Team Coffee. The second factor is I have no idea what's going to become of my RWBY tower because I only have room for one more box up there. But ultimately, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the unboxing process and everything. Leave me your thoughts, like I said, of how you guys feel about these figures. Please be careful for any of you guys who have Emerald. And I just want you guys to know that I will do everything in my power to keep her away from her. Alright, thanks a lot, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.